Are you worried that the spark has gone out in your relationship? Looking to relight the fire? I'm going to give you 4 ways to maintain desire in a relationship without creating conflict or losing control. Whew, I feel like the caffeine kicked in now. Okay. Hi, I'm Lucy Goldman. I'm a love and relationship coach from the West Coast, and I'm dedicated to helping women build their ideal love life from the ground up. Desire and love go hand in hand, but they're not the same thing. Often, we find our relationships full of love, but lacking in desire. The truth is, we need to have both to have a satisfying relationship for both parties. So, let's take a look at the distinction. Speaking very broadly, love is the romantic connection we've built. It's about how we see the other person and how they make us feel, whereas desire is more of a call to action. Love can become passive, but desire is always active. We feel a pull to that person and we want them. This can be sexual, but it's more than just that. If you see an attractive man walk by and you check him out, it's not that you necessarily want to jump into bed with him that moment, but you're definitely feeling a desire. Let's talk about how desire can wane as love builds. The equation goes like this. Desire motivates us to get closer to another person. As you grow closer, desire transforms into love. You get to know each other, you understand one another, and your mutual fondness builds. The relationship becomes more intimate both physically and emotionally, but this closeness has an equal but opposite reaction. You find your desire for one another starting to drop. Remember how you were all over each other when things just started out? You couldn't keep your hands off one another, and when they were out of your sight, they were always on your mind. Now that you have achieved the closeness and the love that you want, the desire is nowhere to be found. This is a super common problem as relationships progress past that first stage. So why does this happen? This is because desire is tied to the unknown, whereas love comes from understanding the other person. The more you know about someone, the more you love them, and the less you desire them. This decrease in desire is tied to the confidence you feel in your connection. You know them quite well, and you trust your relationship. You're not worried about them leaving you, so you've stopped trying to pull them towards you. This is an unfortunate side effect of fitting together so well. But while it is normal, you don't need to accept this loss of desire. You can foster desire in your relationship, and I'll show you how. Many people think if you have a real connection, then all of this stuff comes easy. The truth is that relationships take work. You need to work to build the desire back into your relationship. Here are 6 ways to rediscover your desire for one another and take things to the next level. First off, you should be spending more time apart. Desire is created by longing. Think about it like food. Thanksgiving dinner is special because it only comes around once a year. If you had turkey every day, then you may find your mouth no longer waters when you see it coming out of the oven. This is why I often recommend a little time apart for couples who are having trouble keeping the fires of desire lit. Well, now I'm thinking about turkey. Even a simple weekend trip with your friends can make your man yearn for you like he hasn't in years. This isn't about taking a break from the relationship or drifting apart. It's about building longing with your absence. From that longing, excitement will emerge. Building romantic tension is a great way to drive up desire. This means that couples who fall into ruts often find that their desire for their partner has waned. With this in mind, you need to plan special occasions for the two of you to enjoy together. Whether it's having a dinner party or going on a trip together, the more you plan in advance, the more that your desire for one another is growing. This is because you're delaying gratification. The more you look forward to spending time together, the greater your desire will be when that time comes around. And not only that, you're going on this journey together, so you're in effect mirroring one another's emotions. This subconscious mirroring will help the two of you sync up on an emotional level that will ratchet up your desire even more. But above all, you need to understand that desire fluctuates. Relationships, like anything, are a series of peaks and valleys. There are bound to be other things in your life that take up your time and attention. Your relationship can't and shouldn't be your sole focus. The important thing is that you always return to one another again. As long as you can do that, you need to give yourself a break if sometimes you feel your desire for your partner wane. Another way to rekindle your desire is to look more deeply. If desire comes from novelty, you need to create a sense of change in your relationship to build that desire. This means finding out new sides of one another. There are so many ways to look deeply at your partner and see them with new eyes. Dora, a client of mine, once told me the moment she knew she wanted to marry her man. They were out holiday shopping together. It was the middle of December and the mall was packed. Dora was sitting on a bench with her boyfriend, we'll call him Greg, next to the food court. There was an old man standing nearby, looking at a map of the mall. He seemed lost and tired. Greg stood up and offered the man his seat. They got talking and the old man mentioned how he was trying to find a gift for his grandson, but he was having trouble. Greg talked to him for nearly 20 minutes. Dora simply watched as Greg made a connection with a total stranger. No one else noticed or cared about this old man, but Greg was able to brighten up his day simply by taking the time to listen. Greg showed real humanity, and in that moment, Dora desired Greg more than she ever had before. What I'm saying is desire wanes because we feel like we need to know everything there is to know about our partner. But the truth is, we all contain multitudes, and we have the capacity to keep learning about one another if we're willing to look deeply every once in a while. Time for my next tip. Show desire to get desire. I always say that the golden rule is a powerful motivator in relationships. Treat your boyfriend the way you'd like to be treated. If you wish he'd grab you and tear your clothes off and take you on the kitchen table, consider leading by example. This doesn't even have to be sexual. A well-placed compliment, a wink, or a touch on the inner thigh can work wonders. Many people quit flirting once they get comfortable, but it's important to keep up this dance if you want to keep desire alive. And as always, when it comes to love, say less, but do more. Actions speak louder than words. I've already given you a few actions to take that can help create desire between the two of you, but I wanted to caution you against one action in particular, talking too much about the problem. There are certainly situations where having a conversation is warranted. If you exhaust this list and it still isn't happening, it's something to consider. But you need to know desire is a fragile thing. Just as you can't convince someone to love you, you can't convince them to desire you. You can teach them how to say and do all the right things, but without building that natural chemistry, you'll both be faking it. Desire is an active process of discovery and surprise. In the end, desire is what you make of it. If you can take action, look deeply at your partner, and remember that desire naturally fluctuates in a relationship, you'll be just fine. Thanks for watching.